Good luck.
Hello, good afternoon, students. So, I am your teacher in English 9. I am Aubrey Nava. You can call me Ma'am Aubrey or Madam Aubrey or anything, whichever you prefer to call me. So, before I start the lesson, please arrange your chairs properly and avoid unnecessary noises. So, I will screen my PowerPoint presentation. Paano ba mag-share screen? Wait lang po. Um, yes. Tanong ko lang po kung nakikita niyo po yung presentation. Okay na po ba?
Okay po, visible naman.
Okay po. Thank you po. So, class, once again, I am your teacher in English 9. My name is Aubrey Anava. So, thank you. So, please remain standing for a prayer. So, Miss Cuevas, please lead the prayer. Thank you. So, you may now seat, everyone. Thank you, Miss Cuevas. So, now that we are done for our prayer for this afternoon, so let me check the attendance first. So I will be checking your attendance for today. So say present if your name is called. Okay, thank you, students. So now that I'm done checking your attendance, so let me introduce to you the ABCDEs in life. So we have here 5 letters. We have ABCDE. So let's go first with the letter A. So letter A states that always greet people with a sincere smile. And B, believe in yourself even when no one else does. C, commit yourself to constant improvement. D, don't be so concerned with your rights that you forget your manners. And E, educate yourself, express your opinion. So class, I want you to remember this even if we are inside or outside the classroom or the campus. So next, we have our classroom rules. So we have here 10 classroom rules. And I know that you are already familiar with this. So let me just tell you or say the last rule in our classroom rules. So be gentle and polite with yours because this really important because we know that sometimes our words is a powerful one. So we have the quote saying that tongue creates wisdom and shouldn't spill wicked words to say. So let's now start the lesson. So class, who is William Shakespeare? So yes, Miss Altamirano. Okay, thank you, Miss Altamirano. You may now be seated. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Alieje, would you like to answer? Okay, thank you, Mr. Alieje. So, Mr. Alieje said that William Shakespeare is the author of the popular romance and tragic story called Romeo and Juliet. So, I know that some of you or one of you will tell me that. So, thank you, Mr. Alieje. That was a wonderful insight or opinion. So some of you know William Shakespeare. So like what Mr. Alie and Miss Altamirano said, so William Shakespeare was a writer. So he is an English playwright, poet, and actor. So he was widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's greatest dramatist. So who is really William Shakespeare? So this is William Shakespeare. So Shakespeare, also spelled Shakespeare by name, Bard of Avon or Swan of Avon. So he was baptized April 26, 1564 at Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire, England. So he died April 23, 1616 at Stratford-upon-Avon. So he is an English poet, dramatist, and actor. So he often called the English national poet and considered by many to be the greatest dramatist of all time. So to make this short, so I really agree to what Ben Jonson said, that Shakespeare was not of an age but for all time. So do you know why, class? So let me tell you this. So Shakespeare wrote different types of plays, histories, tragedies, and comedies, as well as some mixtures called problem plays. So it's really intelligent. He drew on many different sources to create his unique plays. Some of them were based on the history of the kings of England, Elizabeth's ancestors. These plays did not necessarily tell the truth, but the version that was most acceptable to the queen or king. So if you really read his works or the poems, poetries, imagine that he literally drives us crazy whenever we read his poem, his works, and it has a huge impact on us. That's right, class? Okay, so you all agreed. So it became alive. It's full of emotions. So his words are deep, but and it is shouting with wisdom. So, to make it short, like what I've said earlier, I totally agree with Ben Jonson. Shakespeare was not of an age, but for all time. So, always. So, let me share this to you, class. So, if you know Taylor Swift, I actually consider her as modern William Shakespeare because of her songs. The way she writes her songs is really incredible. So, it really hits different. So, now let's go back to our topic. Thank you for listening to that. I will ask you a question before we start reading a poem. So this poem I'm going to read to you is one of his works. So are you familiar with this poem called The Seven Ages of Man? Okay, I want to hear from you, Miss Elizalde. Thank you, Miss Elizalde. I'm glad that some of you are familiar with this poem. How about you, Mr. Rivas? Mm-hmm. Excellent idea, Mr. Rivas. At first, I really thought that no one knew about this wonderful poem. So, fantastic, Mr. Rivas. Thank you for that wonderful insight. So, now I want you to listen very carefully as I read the poem. So, here is the poem. Okay. Oh, now that we are done reading the poem, so I will going to ask you questions regarding the poem. So, what can you say about the poem? What comprises the seven ages of man or stages in life of man according to the poem? Yes, Miss Alde, highly appreciated. Thank you for participating. Okay. Exactly. Very well said, Miss Alde. Thank you. You may now take your seat. How about you, Miss Marfori? Any insights about the poem? Okay. Thank you, Miss Marfori. I'm so glad that you understand it very well. So you also may take your seat. So now that you've said it all and shared your insights in class about the bomb, so actually, to tell you, to be honest, we actually chose that piece, the Seven Ages of Man. When we joined in the speech choir back when in high school. So we chose this piece that was really um, incredible to perform, but we didn't want. Sad. So now that we've started all, then share your insights in class about the bomb. So we'll now proceed to establish a purpose for our lesson. So I have here motivated questions that you need to answer. So these are the motivated questions. So the first one is, what can you say about his poem? What was the first stage that was indicated in his poem? How about the second one? How about the last one? Do you think there's only 7 ages of men? How can you say so? So, do you agree with what's indicated in his poem that a man has only 7 ages or stages in life? Why or why not? So, class, I want you to get a one whole sheet of paper and answer the following questions. I will give you 30 minutes to answer. Okay? Okay, class, for your first written work this afternoon, I will give you 30 minutes to answer the questions, and you may now start. Okay, class, time is up. So pass your papers in front. Okay, thank you. Thank you, class. I've seen your effort and the focus in you while doing this written work. So thank you, students. So now let's proceed to our next group task. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to have a group task. But before that, let me read this to you first, the poetry. So the poetry is a personal type of writing. So I know that all of you are familiar with this. So poetry is a personal type of writing where words flow and carry you along with the realms of a beautiful thought. What contributes to the poem's meaning? So to make it short, there's a life in it. In every poem you read, there's a life in it that will absolutely drives you to feel life in it. So some poems are full of words that are fun to say aloud. You can express the meaning of the words by reading them aloud, and you can use them your voice to express their meaning. So in your group task, that that is actually what you're going to do. You have to express the meaning of the words by reading them aloud. In a small groups of 5, listen carefully, class. I don't want unnecessary noises. In small groups of 5, read the poem The 7 Ages of Man. So we're done reading it. So this is actually from the comedy or the work of William Shakespeare, as you like it. So you will decide who will be the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth readers. So you have to try to make the meaning of the words come alive by using good expressions. Listen very carefully because I'm not going to repeat this. Remember, to produce the correct critical consonant sounds in words like S, say SH, or say H. Because I've noticed that some students, when they are pronouncing a words or letters, the expression in the expression in the pronunciation is not balanced. So you have to remember this, okay? So watch out for words in the poem that have the same sounds. Also, think back on the importance of using appropriate stress to words you'll read to convey meaning. So we have here eight words. So before we start our group task, let me read first the proper pronunciation, how to stress the words to convey meaning. So let's start with these examples. 7. It's not 7, it's 7. Well, the other one is, yes, Miss Albe? No, it's not players, it's players. Players. Next one, Mr. Rivas. Muling. Okay, correct. Thank you. Muling. How about the fourth one? Infant. Infant. Next, Miss Marfori. It's not pantalons. It is pantaloons. Pantaloons. How about the next? Ages. Ages. It is not age. It is ages. How about the last one? Spectacles. It's not spectacles. It's spectacles. How about the last one? Oblivion. Oblivion. So you have to remember that the parts in capital letters receive the primary stress. So you have to stress the words properly. So you have to read the poem aloud again. So remember to use the appropriate stress and produce the correct sounds of the letters that make up the words. So class, can we start now? Okay, start. Okay? Thank you, group 1 to 5. You all did great, very excellent. So, you have to always remember that the pronunciation of every word is very important. As you read the poem, you should make the poem alive, and the lines of the poem should equal your expressions. Okay, class? Do you understand? Okay, class. So the expressions and the pronunciation should be balanced. Okay? So if you are doing it without a proper or you lack of expression but too much or exaggeration of the pronunciation is not balanced. I will not give you a grade. It's not just about the grade. It's because you have to improve. Okay, thank you. So now that we are done with the group activity, so we have tried giving summaries and answering questions before and after reading the poem. So have we already watched the Disney Mulan? Okay, that's great. So I heard Miss Alde singing the reflection song. Okay, thank you. So now I'm going to play the song so that you can give a summary or insights about it. You will also make a reflection paper of this song after you listen to it. So are you familiar with this song? Okay. So let me play the video. Okay. So now that you've watched the video of Reflection by Leia Salonga, so you have to make a reflection in a one whole sheet of paper. So it should not exceed 500 words. Or I will not check them. Or I will not give you a grade. Okay. So these are the questions that you have to make a reflection. So what is the struggle of the person in the song Reflection? How would you interpret the line, why is my reflection someone I don't know? Sorry for my voice. What is the message of the song Reflection? So how did the song Reflection make you feel? Okay, class. So you have, so I will give you 1 hour. An hour. Okay. Dahil mahirap, parang mahirap, di ba? So I will give you an hour to do this reflection paper, and after that, you will pass it in front. Okay? You may now start. Okay, class. Now you're done with the reflection paper. Pass it in front. Thank you. Okay. Now we have to make generalizations and abstractions about the lesson. Am I fast? No? Okay, thank you. So now that we are done making or doing the group task or the written work, so now we are going to make generalizations and abstractions about the lesson. So we have here questions. So we have to participate and elaborate your answers, okay? So first, what is summary? Okay, thank you, Miss Alde. So how about Mr. Rivas? So how do we summarize an informational text? Okay, thank you, Mr. Rivas. So did you follow the given house rules when performing the task given to you? Did you show politeness by listening attentively with your partner and teacher during the individual activity and group activity? Why is politeness important? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, thank you, Miss Marfori. Politeness is really important inside or outside man ng ating campus. So you always have to remember the classroom rules, the ABCDs in life. So that's it. So why is it important to stretch our minds into critical thinking before and after reading a text? This is actually the goal. So this is actually the main goal of our lesson for today. You have to share your thoughts. You have to give insights. So I've seen you are all positive and have been able to understand. You have given your insights to the literary pieces I had shown you. So I think that you really learned a lot today. So excellent class. So for your evaluation, so listen to your teacher as she reads the poem and check out which of these signs are conveyed in the poem. So poem na naman, poem again, because we are focused on the literary pieces um, of the writers or the literature. So this is your evaluation. So we have here poem called If by Rudyard Kipling. So I will read the poem and you have to listen carefully. And after that, there are signs that you have to check out that are conveyed in the poem. So listen very carefully. So this is If by Rudyard Kipling. Okay. So I'm expecting that you all listened to me while I was reading the poem, class. Because I have here signs that you have to check out. So which are conveyed in the poem. So the first one, overcome challenges and obstacles in life. Don't let them beat you. Okay, Mr. Rivas. Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Rivas. So the first one is a sign that conveyed in the poem. How about the second one? Follow your dreams and set up your goals. Yes, Miss Alde. Okay, it was actually conveyed in the poem. Actually, class, I don't have to ask you one by one because this 1 to 12, it's actually conveyed in the poem, all of this. So, so again, class, now I'm hearing unnecessary noises. Please come down, please. Okay. Now your assignment. Ang bilis ah. So again, class, you are very excellent for checking out which of these signs are conveyed in the poem. So for your assignment, wow, we're already on the last part of our lesson. Wow. I hear you, class, shrieking. Okay. So for your assignment, you have to summarize. So you have to think back on what you usually do to summarize points in text you read or ideas you listen to. Giving the summary helps clarify your understanding of the key information in a reading or listening to the literary piece. When to summarize or condense the ideas you read or listen to. As you summarize, you restate the main ideas and the most important details in a few words or sentences. So that's it, class. So I hope in our next meeting that you did your assignment so that I can give you a good grade. Right, class? Okay. I've seen your cooperation when we did your group test, and everyone exerted their efforts for the success of the test. So I'll be reading your written works later, and I know that you gave wonderful insights of the song. So goodbye, class. See you at the next meeting. Once again, I'm Aubrey Nava, and I'm your teacher in English 9. Okay na po, ma'am. Thank you po.